station. I like to go
the upload's taking longer, so I'm going to sit here and wait till the second it's done, and then I'm going to hit live, and you guys will be good, but I just have to wait. Sorry. It's an upload thing. It's a Menners thing. What can I say? I don't know what to tell you. That was my cat. In the meantime, I want to give my personal message to Steve from Gloucester that I do hope you go in tomorrow. I really do. And I know this is the drip show, but listen, there's nothing else you can watch right now but me. My air conditioner's on, but there's no one to watch but me. So guess what? I'm gonna butt in like a former CEO, and I'm gonna give my opinion while we wait. I hope Steve goes in. Just admit you're wrong, buddy. It's fine. Just say it's if you were wrong, you're wrong. They're obviously still loving enough to have you come in. Just come on back. Just come on back. You're more than welcome back. Seat's warm. Cinema Lord's there to beat you up. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. Let's check in on this upload. 2 minutes, 36 seconds. I don't trust those numbers, so I want someone to keep the clock on that. Keep the clock on that. Oh, Don the Jeweler saying it won't happen. I asked Pat and John to come on, and in the meantime, we'll talk, but they have kids. Ugh. So, John, it feels like you're just talking to just me and my 3 friends. No, there's 6 of you. So, but that's not counting the Rumble, where all our views come from. So, I can't give you an exact number on that. Let's see. Now it says 1 minute, 49 seconds. So keep that clock going. Other things, Gus, I believe, is tonight. We got BL Boys. I don't know if they're going to be tonight or what. We're going to obviously have to move things around because of this upload. So Gus might have to go a little later, but that's fine because me and him are going to be playing Minecraft tonight. It's going to be lit. He's going to start in, I believe, my world, and we're going to get it going. So it's going to be a good stream. I know that's mostly about myself, but I'm here by myself. So who else? What should I talk about? It's good to see the loyal fans are here. We didn't get a BL Boys last week, did we? I don't think so. They mostly they send their episodes in with Coleman. So I'm lucky enough to just be able to promote them. I don't have to do much work with them. So he keeps that relationship beautiful and blossoming. And they kind of do what they want to do. I appreciate their show. I preferably, just as a loyal Minute fan, have always been a bigger Cinema Lords fan than the BL Boys, but I'm happy we have 2 separate movie shows on this network as compared to Menner's segment about Red's parents. We have 2 movie shows, 2 sports shows. It's living, baby. It's living. Let's check the clock here. Ooh, 9 seconds. It says 9 seconds. All right. Once this is all done, we press. I think the episode where they bought the guide on that. Took the picture. That's a lot to read, Mike. I'll tell you what, that's a lot to read. I appreciate that comment. That's for the viewers. That's the best. Theater was the best. Not Kirk video that's ever been on the network. Facts. I should take that down. It says guy jerking off, right? All right. Without further ado, I believe we have the drips. Yeah, we do. Okay. I just want to say here and make sure this goes up. So you got to wait for me. Other than that, what else do we have for this week? We got The Mutt. They filmed that today. We got Justin doing that this weekend, which I'm very intrigued about. Let's see, are we good? Come on, baby. It's probably the best Trips episode yet. I thought hurricane season was over. All right, it's ready. All right, y'all. Bye. Sorry I had to do this, but the real answer is we uploaded the wrong episode. I'm just kidding. All right, bye.
The other side. I've always wanted to say that.
And Zoom meetings and video conference calls all day, every day. That is the life of a drip. And this is Drips in the Office, episode 9. Little homage there to the late, great Beyond Average Mick and the BAP show, which we all hope will return soon because, look, at the end of the day, all we can ask for is a little consistency. You know what I mean, Pat?
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
Good start. Really good start to this.
So we're recording on Monday. There was no main show today, so we won't be able to give like a real KMS rundown, if I may.
Shout out.
This episode will be mostly Dripville territory, so let's go ahead and get started. I don't care if the highlight of your week, no, the highlight of your year was getting an all-new wireless mouse, all-new wireless keyboard, maybe even a big old curved monitor. This will still be the most boring part of your week. You got something to say about that?
I will at some point. Those are my favorite things. But, John, I want to apologize ahead of time. I got to make sure I'm not fat in the face. I want to apologize ahead of time. This is a flu game for me. I woke up with a 103-degree fever. So my finger is on the mute button in case the old cough comes roaring. But I'm here. I'm dedicated. And I'm ready.
Listen,
how are you?
We're here. We're queer. We're ready to go. And this just it says a lot about you that. Listen, Drips has never missed a week.
Nope.
You're not going to let this stop you. 103, nothing to scoff at either. So I applaud you.
Battling through it. Surprised I'm still here, honestly. I should be dead.
Plus,
I didn't get boosted either. That's part of the problem.
I don't want to get into it. When you sound sometimes when you sound sick though, you get a little sexy voice going. So it's not terrible. That's not terrible.
Thank you, John.
No, so the reason I actually brought up, I had that intro, like the curved monitor, the keyboard. I had a coworker today. I was walking in, he was setting up all his new stuff, new keyboard, new mouse, big old curved monitor. And Pat, this kid was fired up. Like every person who walked in, he's like, check out my new hardware.
It's the absolute best. I got 226 inches at the office, and here, right behind me, I've adapted a 38. I think it's 38. Is that 38 increment of TV? I've adapted that as my secondary monitor for the home. Game changer. It takes a little bit of messing with resolution, but yeah, I would recommend to a friend, and you are a friend.
He just put in I want to say it was a 32-inch today. And the funny thing was he's setting it all up, and like I said, everybody who walks in, he's all fired up. He's like, check out my new monitor, check out my new monitor.
Oh, yeah.
But then later in the day, someone comes in, they're like, oh, so what do you think? Like, do you like the dual monitors or the curved? And I could tell he wasn't as excited. Like, it wasn't maybe all he like dreamt it to be. He was just like, he looked up at the person. He was like, getting used to it.
Let me enjoy this. Let me enjoy it. Now, have you ever tinkered with the vertical monitor?
No, it seems like a game that I might be too late to the game. Like that, I've seen guys do it. They always seem like tech guys, smart dudes. I don't know if it's for me. I think I'm too stuck like in this world.
I feel like it's a young man's game. You don't see many elders or even folks of our iteration with the vertical monitor, but it is something that I think could really, like, if I could figure out how to do it, I think it could capitalize on my like work proficiency, because a lot of the times, I don't know if you have this problem, but my docking station, I like to go computer, monitor, monitor. Now, if I could do a horizontal, no, vertical, I
Oh,
could
you
just
put that in
go
the middle?
straight up above me, and then it could just be drag up, opposed to picture frames.
Right. I do the same thing as you. I keep my laptop on the right-hand side and then 2 monitors sort of in the front. So I've got 3 monitors going.
Yep,
I don't
1,000%.
mind swinging though. I mean, I'm used to it though.
Somebody
I guess.
clip that.
One thing I wanted to talk about today, because I was running a little bit late. I've been trying to get into the office at a set time to get a couple things done. I was running late, and I had enough time where I was like, I'm going to cut it close.
Yep.
But even with grabbing the coffee, I thought that would still all kind of, work itself out. But it's always when you're running late that you're stuck behind someone who's going like incredibly slow, like maybe a minivan, and she's ordering like
school bus
munchkins for the entire neighborhood. Yeah, exactly. So I got a hot take I want to throw at you in a second, but I want to see, if you're running late, are you a coffee guy?
My coffee guy.
I ask you this like every episode.
I am a coffee guy. I always start off the day. Sorry, sexy voice. I always start off the day with a venti ice cold brew from Starbucks. Nothing in it. Black like my soul. Black like night.
You gotta get black.
It gets the juices flowing. No cream. No sugar. Good for the gut. And it's good for the mind. But I think I know where you're going. I'll let you run with it. But we'll come back to this. Go ahead.
Well, I'm the guy who will go grab that coffee if I'm late. But then if I see like one of my employees or someone else show up late with the coffee, I'm like, you motherfucker, you could have got here early if you didn't stop. So I'm definitely a hypocrite.
Interesting.
But here's my hot take: drive-through, 3 items or less.
Yeah.
None of the bullshit, dude. It should be like the lane in the grocery store, whatever it is, 10 items or less. You can't be going through the drive-through, getting 5 sandwiches, 4 coffees.
Asshole.
It's bullshit, dude. You get what you need, you go through to get out, because there's people like me who need to get to the office behind you.
Now, question for you, and listen, hand up. I agree with you 1,000%. Those people should be sent to Azkaban. Like there's nothing worse. You see, like, here's 1 coffee, here's 2, here's 3, and it's like, why did your parents why did they
give me PTSD?
But like, I always used to hate this guy, but now I think it's a power move. Starbucks generally has a door directly next to their pickup area. You know that they have that little area if you order ahead on the mobile?
Yep.
I am the guy that pulls up right next to the door. It's not a parking space, and I just strut in there like I own the joint. Are you that guy?
Is it always ready for you?
Oh, yeah. I got it down to a science. To a science. They know my name there at the one I go to, which is exciting. Hold on a moment. I'm back.
That was a quick mute button. Like, that is a absolute pro move. I've tried to do things like that. It never works out.
I've been on calls all day hacking up a lung. I've perfected it by now. But yeah, I feel so cool when I do that, because you could tell there's certain people in the parking lot are like, oh, this fucking asshole. Like, sometimes it causes a traffic jam, and like, I have the persona to start my day, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I am the king of this Starbucks. You get out of my way. It's exciting.
I haven't done it, but I do like the idea of kind of like strutting through the parking lot, especially if I'm wearing my best business cash. Are you kidding me?
This is embarrassing, but it's also, I think, a power move.
Go on.
Do you have how many phones do you have?
I've got 1 phone.
Okay. I have 3. I don't want 3. I don't use one of them, but they've given me humble brag is right. Different regions, different numbers. But sometimes I will take my work phone and I will call. I've done it like twice when I'm feeling like extra spicy, and I will call my personal cell phone that's located in the car, and I'll fake a conversation the entire way in and like talk big business deals. So the people at Starbucks are like,
I love that.
Jeez, this guy's no joke. I'm not signing that deal unless we get the vertical indicator. Just make up some random shit.
Yeah.
People are like, this is the guy.
Dude, closing deals.
All of a sudden they look and then they look again. They're like, oh,
Somebody get on that cold brew stat.
yeah. I would recommend it. You're an asshole for doing it, but like you feel powerful in the moment. It's the little things in life.
That is big. That is big. I will say this though, just to not be completely outdone by you and your 3 phones. I've got 1 phone, 2 numbers. I do have an app on my phone for a work number for my calls to get directed to my phone. So I'm not too far behind you.
Well, I had that option, and let me just figure out the exact application that I'm speaking of here.
No free ads.
I am a level 6,228 in Royal Match. I got so good at the game. I'll send it to you after. It's freaking addicting. No ads. It's just smooth sailing. It's like a bubble popper, but like with extra features. And when they asked me if I wanted to combine phones, I wanted the extra phone so I could download Royal Match to that one. So late night, I could play Royal Match. Is it Royal Match?
You mentioned late night. I was going to say when are you playing that? Like just any downtime at all?
Lunch break, primarily. I sit in my office, eat a sandwich, and just play some Royal Match. But once everyone's asleep, it's a really fun game. I'm very good at it. There's definitely at least one person listening out there that's like, I play Royal Match. Friend me. I'll give you some free lives.
All right, I'll have to download it.
Cool.
What else so I know you're not in the office as much. Have you ever had a situation like what's the office fridge situation look like for you? Look at this guy, he's struggling.
I'm so lightheaded right now. What would you say about The Office? I apologize.
It's gonna make the show even better, I think.
I'm not sure.
Like if you just pass out live on camera, that might not be bad. Wearing my
legitimate concern.
No
Spiegel scrap.
Shout
what was
out.
the question? I apologize.
No, so we've got this situation going, and it happens every so often where the office fridge, like people just leave shit in it all the time, dude. And then to the point where then someone, like you always feel like the hero if you're the guy, but you send out maybe one of those emails to like your floor or whatever. And you're like, hey guys, fridge is getting a little dirty, getting a little packed up. This Friday, I'm throwing everything out. If you don't put a sticky on it, it's getting thrown out. That'll happen every so often. I just don't get like, have I left something in there before and forgotten about it? Sure. But you've got consistent folks in there leaving shit in there for like months at a time, and I don't understand it. My wife would kill me if the Tupperware wasn't coming home.
Oh, that's like we invested in very nice Tupperware. We get gift cards. Gotta go glass.
Yeah.
And the lid on top is a plexiglass, like hard plastic with a rubber liner to make sure everything stays sealed. I'm glad you brought this up because I am the guy that throws away an entire lunchbox if it's in there for more than like 4 or 5 days.
Oh, yeah.
Like if somebody feels great, I'm throwing it away. And then when they come around, like, oh, where is it? Like, oh, yeah, I threw it away. Sorry. It's not a fucking storage container. It's a fridge. So yeah, I can't stand those people, but hypocrite. Every once in a while, I'll leave some stuff in there myself.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, when I and this must be what they're going through too. But when I have left stuff in there, like, I've definitely opened it up and kind of seen it. Maybe I was like on my way out, like to head home, and I'm like, oh, I'll grab it tomorrow. These people are just doing that week over week. I
don't think they care. Like, what are your thoughts on the people that like the small work fridge? Say it's industrial size. You got a standard freezer above a refrigerator itself. People like make themselves at home. Like, oh, all of a sudden there's a 12-pack of Diet Coke in there. Like,
yeah, taking up space.
Shocker, we got yogurt. Like, I get it. I feel like my voice is deteriorating quickly. I get it. Don't get me wrong. But like that drives me crazy too. It's like we're here for 8 to 10 hours. Right. If you want to go, like, don't do that. Bring your stuff. Wake up 15 minutes earlier. Maybe that's just me.
No, I bring enough. And there's definitely pros and cons because I tend to bring just what I want for that day. But I've thought to myself, like, oh, what if I brought a whole fucking thing of grapes instead of just like, 10 grapes in a little baggie just so I have it. But there's limited space. And these people that you're talking about, they'll take up a whole row. Like you've got 30 people like in this office and they're taking up a row. It's asinine.
It's frustrating. I'm okay with it for the freezer. Like if you have breakfast sandwiches that you have to keep in the freezer, like just a couple here and there, because the freezer and a work fridge gets utilized probably 10% of the time. The refrigerator is your 90 percentile. So yeah, I'm okay with that. But yeah, the work fridge etiquette is something that really needs to be analyzed. It should be something that's talked about during onboarding, frankly.
That's a really good point. I think maybe Mayo could do a whole episode on it. I've got to do a headshot for a new ID badge because I'll be on the road pretty soon. So they asked me today. They're like, "Oh, do you have a?" They showed me like some other guys, and they're like, "Do you have a picture like this?" Like, and it was just like some guy wearing a suit, like a professional headshot. I was like, "No, I actually don't." So I think you said you had one, right?
I've had a few over the last 5 months. We got them done in January, and I think it was the lighting. It might have been the angle, but holy Toledo, I look like a goddamn tomato. Now,
all right. So did you just like your wife took them, or you had like a photographer do it?
we brought somebody in to take them, and then they took them, and I asked the guy if he could edit it, like in like Photoshop it to like thin me out a bit and hide the jowls, and he said no, and then he asked me to leave.
What?
So yeah, that sucked. Like I'm sure they paid the guy a lot too. He was like, "Nope, we don't do that." Right,
oh, so did your company brought the guy in?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
are you wearing like a suit in it?
Hell yeah, I'll show you.
You are. Yeah.
I sent it to John already.
Perfect.
The new one, we had a work conference. One of the ones that I was talking about, like maybe a couple months ago, they brought in a photographer again for all of those who didn't. And this guy was a lot cooler. I wish I asked him to edit it, but I took a second one and we worked on the angles. It's not great. I'm still thicker than a Snicker, but we are working on that with the Peloton and salad. So like it's a work in progress.
Well, my question was, do you like now that you're on this diet, you're on the Peloton, looking great, by the way. I mean, so, listen, there's people out there. I got to think they're trolls. They're calling Pat a big toe on Twitter. I mean,
I've seen that.
Unwarranted. I think that picture was edited. I know they're denying it, but people in this world deny things here and there.
Once in a while.
Yeah.
Listen, to those people, I just tell them stay gay. It's always one of the funniest things that I like to say. So I figured I'd throw that one at them. No, unfortunately, a lot of those photos that circulated me online they're unedited. I am not in the most peak condition right now, but let me tell you something, John, right now. And I'll tell you this. Jesus, focus. When I become hot again, like when I'm a goddamn snack, I will be hiring a professional photographer on my own dime to update my LinkedIn picture. I am in the business of sales, selling, and part of that is this face. So I need to up that game. So yeah, once I'm hot again, watch the fuck out because I will be insufferable.
And it's coming up soon. I think personality season is coming to an end. So you got to get on that.
Personality.
Yeah, personality season is the winter. Everyone keeps their clothes on. You don't have to pop your shirt off at the beach. So having a good personality is really, really key in the winter. Unfortunately, doesn't carry over into the summer months. So definitely something to put in your back pocket and think about quite a bit.
That's nerve-wracking. Yeah, I never thought of it that way. Back to the Peloton.
I know. We'll try to keep it moving today. I know you're struggling a little bit. Do you have any other topics work-wise?
That's a great question. Let me think. I have yet another. Listen, health is a question right now. I have another conference tomorrow, a national parking conference with a golf tournament associated with it. So I have a lot on the line tomorrow. 18 holes. And then some cocktails where everybody's gonna be drinking. I'll have a Pepsi, maybe even a water for low calorie, and yeah, just talking parking. So that's really what I'm looking at for work right now. I have a question for you.
Yep.
And this is work related, and maybe it's just a me thing. When you have something like a due date, you have something that's 3-4 weeks in the future. You know it's coming down the pipeline. Mm-hmm. Are you the kind of guy to be like, all right, 3 weeks out, let's finish this thing now and let's get it ready to go so I can just send it?
No, I want to be that guy so bad.
God, at least I'm not alone.
No.
It's killer.
I want to do that. I'm telling myself like now that I'm gonna take this new role, like I'm gonna be a changed man.
Congratulations.
Do everything ahead of time. Yeah. I'm jealous of those folks because you get it done, you're free as a bird, all your stuff's filed, but then maybe we're addicted to the last minute grind and sneaking it out and getting it done last minute, and it still kind of turns out okay. Yeah. Like I think there is a rush to that. I mean, that was the same way when back in school. Like I was the guy who was doing all the assignments literally at midnight the night before.
Okay, it's not just me because I got some. I'm right after this. I'm jumping into the computer and I'm getting some stuff done. But I want to be that guy. I've talked about it with Karen a lot because I feel as though it's just a mental block that I have to get through.
What does she think?
She thinks I'm a little nuts, but she thinks that I need to prioritize my time. She thinks that sometimes stress will help. Stress becomes a, what does she say? She's fucking whack. She's always got like cats around and shit. Sometimes the stress overtakes the urge to be productive. So sometimes I'd like to focus on the stress instead of focusing on maybe productivity will take away the stress. So we've worked on open dialogue out loud with ourselves and our breathing techniques. It's not working. So I need to go back to the drawing board with her on that.
Something my father always said was starting is the hardest part. So there you go.
I like that. But I take that.
All right, let's move on. But before we do, I do believe we have a word from a very, very famous law firm. So we'd like to let them share a little something with you guys.
Yes.
The Law Office of Pat Ford features compassionate attorneys who are dedicated to your podcast case. With over 20 minutes of experience, Ford's team has the knowledge and resources to handle any legal issue you may face, even if you are simply fed up with their existence. At Ford Law, we put our hearts into everything we do because our only goal is to resolve your case as quickly and efficiently as possible while ensuring the highest level of customer satisfaction. Call us today or stop by and say hi at our convenient location in the Happy Dragon Chinese Restaurant and Aquarium Mini Mall.
Perfect. And this one's for you, buddy. And I didn't even go inside the building. I was just driving by for work. Okay. But I went by Mystic Aquarium the other day. Is that like, first of all, you've definitely been there, right?
Yeah, not since I got the fish, so I haven't like been as dialed in, but we're going to be there a lot this summer. We have friends out in Mystic. What's the other town in Connecticut? I don't have any friends in Putnam, but I have friends in Mystic, and we're going to be going out to that aquarium a lot, definitely because we're aquarium people. But you didn't go in?
No, we were just happened to be driving by. Some of that's going to be my my new territory. So I kind of just like scoping it out, and I was like, all right, I'm going to get some good pizza around here. There's Mystic Aquarium. Thinking of Pat Ford as I drive by. I like that one. I think better than the Boston Aquarium. Is that that's not a hot take, right? Is that pretty
not a hot take. Ease of access. So there's a couple different components to the aquarium. Like, so you've been very critical of the aquarium that I go to, which is 15 minutes down the road, easy in, easy out. You flash a blue membership card, they send you on your way, and you have a day. To go to Mystic, it's not bad. It's a drive. It's boom,
it is
buy
a
your
drive.
ticket,
Yeah.
go in. Fine. But if you go to Boston, a lot of times you're going to want to take the train. And there's traffic if not. But the parking around that area is actually really good. I've always noticed that the parking around Mystic Aquarium is fantastic. If anyone's going, give me a shout. I'll send you a link so you can pay. But no, that's why I'd prefer. I think I go Biomes, Mystic, Boston in that order.
Wow, yeah. That is a huge shout out for Biomes, which I'm going to get there. Maybe we'll meet up. We'll do a little drips out in the drips out of office there. Let the kids run around and
that's a good idea.
Examine some of the fish. You can show me. I'm sure you've got them all named up and down the hallways and everything. So
I haven't named them yet. Maybe I should. But with my season pass, I get 3 free guests. Come on down. Anyone under 2 is free.
Perfect. Me and the 2 boys.
Boom.
Speaking of the boys, soccer started on Saturday. I think your son's going to start soccer this week. Is that right? Wednesday.
Very excited.
What are your expectations for him?
It's a bit of a foot fairy game, so I don't know how he'll do with the game itself. He's kind of a badass, but no, I think he'll do fine. He gets distracted easily, like his old man. So as long as he can just focus on the game itself and not run over to mom, it'll be a huge win. How did your boys do?
So He did good. Like the first 5 minutes or so, he was a little clingy. There was a ton of kids, dude. I don't know if you ever spent any time in Bristol, but Colt State Park is a like pretty well known like big park in Bristol, but kids everywhere. Like these 2 soccer fields filled with just little kids everywhere. So what they did was in the age group, there might have been like 30 or 40 of them. They'll grab small groups of 5, anywhere between 5 and 7. That small group. I feel bad that I'm laughing every time, but it's just funny. They'll get a little coach, and the phenomenon I think is the same thing with like daycare. Like I can't get my kid to listen for shit at home, but somehow like at daycare they round up all these kids and they get them to listen. God. Same thing at soccer. Like the coaches, they've never seen this guy before, and he's like, "All right, everyone get in a line, put your arms out, make sure your arms length away from people so you can like dribble the ball." All right, and they started going into drills like right away. I thought there was going to be more. Actually, I don't know really what I thought was going to happen, but like right away they're like
chaos.
Do that, yeah. Do this. Like I don't know how to do it. If this is the ball, they're like this little jumping thing, like each foot on top of the ball.
I was going to make fun of you, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
It was the first thing I did. I was like, "There's no way the kids are going to do this," and sure enough, they all did it. So it was good. I think this is going to be a fantastic activity to make the kids sleep.
Did he sleep well that night? I'm excited about that.
Oh my God. And I think that's what it's all about too.
This is a Wednesday afternoon special for us. So I'm excited. If he wants to listen, great. But I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It sounds like he had a good experience.
Yeah, but you're right though. Like A, as long as they're running around, it's a win. And then B, as you said, if he's not running over to you guys like every 5 minutes, that's all you can. And even if he does a couple times, it's not that big of a deal.
Did you play soccer growing up?
No, I mean I did like at a very young age, but that was never really my sport.
I quit when I was 7. What happened was I got kicked in the face by a soccer ball. Like I remember vividly, full speed, and I was fucking like crying like crazy. And I was looking around and I couldn't find my mom and I couldn't see her. So I just but I knew where our house was because we were very close to the field. But I just took off for our house and like 5-year-old running down the street. Like luckily my mom caught me before I got to the intersections or anything like that, but never again. Plus, those fellas flop like you read about. Like,
it's unbelievable.
I get it. You're trying to get the call. It's like the freaking NBA now. Am I right? That could be a whole rant. I'll save that for our friend Greg and his friend. He's
got a good friend.
Yes. But you mentioned something that I want to touch on. Daycare. So we started daycare a few weeks ago.
Yep.
What was it like the first time you dropped your kid off at daycare?
I don't even remember. I think it was probably tough. Whenever we have like a break, like when we just got back from Jamaica. Oh man, it's so violent, Pat.
It's so bad.
It's violent.
It's so bad.
Yeah, anytime there's a break where he hasn't been in a while, that is always tough. Like we drop him off, he's crying, doesn't want to go in. But it's one of those things like he sees his buddy 5 minutes later and like, see you later, Dad.
Our first time, he cried. He was so upset. Yada yada, Mom, Dad, crying. I was like, oh, he loves us. Like this is sad. Like I hope he has fun. Day 2, I put him down. Gone.
That was it, huh?
Nope. He just goes and plays with his friends. I would love to see like a day 1 every once in a while, just so you know, like I'm still this guy. But no, he's as happy as a pig and shit in that place, which is exciting. I'm happy for it. I'm very happy. It's very cheap too. It's only like $340 a week, so yeah, good for him.
Is it at like a place or is it almost like a?
Hold on. Oh, never mind. I was doing it as $1,000 a week, $330 a week times 52. I'm paying like a fucking state school for this little shit to do.
Oh yeah.
Like, not a little shit.
Dude, I have 2 kids at the daycare right now. It's insane. I don't even know how we do it.
At least get a bundle, like a bundle deal.
I'd like to think so. My wife's in charge of it all. I don't really know.
Good call.
Yeah, the money just disappears from the account. That's all I know.
But have you ever looked at like daycare finances? Because I've always thought about this, right? So, say there's 10 kids in the class. Say it's.
Oh, you mean like for them, like what they're raking in?
All like $300 a week, $3,000 a week, all in times 4, $12,000. You got to look at a building of that size. The mortgage is probably around 4 or 5 grand, especially with interest rates nowadays. Biden's America.
Insurance has got to be high, though.
Insurance has got to be high. So I understand the pricing. It's still not right. It's still not good.
No, and I don't know how. I wonder if this is a new phenomenon. Like it's because they know they got you. Like you got to put the kid somewhere.
Yep. They got us by the balls. It's a shame.
They really do.
It really is.
Do. Oh, so one other thing we watched. I was a huge Sandlot kid growing up. I fucking love Sandlot because I was always a baseball guy.
Yep.
So I watched Sandlot with my son the other day. Dude, it ended. I was bawling my eyes out. I was crying. Like my wife was doing something. She came into the room as the movie was ending. Tears were just like streaming down my face. And she's like, "Why are you crying?" I was like, "Sandlot." That's not even a sad ending, but let me tell you why I was crying. Benny the Jet Rodriguez, dude.
Yeah.
It means a lot to me that he liked baseball so much and he practiced so much and he made it to the big leagues. Just something for me, it was real, damn it. It's still real to me, damn it. I don't know. I just thought he was the one guy who wanted to practice every single day, 4th of July, rain or shine. And guess what? It paid off for him. Now he's playing for the Dodgers. Tears streaming down my face. I'm an emotional guy. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to watch that again. I haven't cried in a minute. I'd like to get a few out. So that might work.
If you want to cry at a baseball movie, Hardball is always when G Baby gets shot. That's tough.
Never seen it, so maybe that'll be a good.
I just fucking
like the guy gets shot and does he die?
I don't want to spoil it anymore. If you need a good cry, I don't
watch it. The Notebook's a good cry.
Marley and Me.
TikToks. Oh, Marley and Me. No, thank you. That is a tearjerker. Finding Nemo like hit me in a weird way. I remember that. And then if I get a TikTok spree and they put something out there really sad about like dogs, kids, I'll let it flow. Everybody needs to cry.
Yeah, I'll skip that stuff. I don't want to go out of my way to cry. Although I will go out of my way to watch Sandlot again. I wouldn't hate it if I was so happy for Benny the Jet again. And then the next day we watch, because he's on like a baseball kick movie, so we watched Rookie of the Year.
Good movie.
He's running around the house trying to say Henry Rowan Gardner, which is pretty funny.
Good movie.
And Henry Rowan Gardner. Anything else going on in your world, Pat?
No. Not really.
Having a 103 fever and still showing up for drips.
I'm telling you, my brain is just toast. Last night I woke up. My wife has this big gown. It's all fur and it goes down. Like I was wearing like a women's dress because it was fur because I was so cold and shivering. No, I'll send you a selfie and it's pretty sick. Right. I got those to say job.
Send it to John.
I will. I think I have one. But yeah, it's a sweet robe. But oh my God, I don't even know what to think. I've been on calls all day. Like people are asking me stuff. Like I don't know.
Are you worried about the conference in the golf tournament?
Golf tournament, no. I've always played best when I'm sick. I play good in the rain and I play good when I'm sick.
The greats always do.
But the conference, yes, I'll be checking out of that mentally for sure. I'll be.
Do you have to do any talking in it, or are you pretty much just in attendance?
I don't think I have to speak. That would suck because that would be really bad. That'd be really bad. We'll see. Every once in a while, somebody sees me and they're like, "There he is, bring him up, bring him up." Yeah, the last thing I want. Who? You were
Blue
saying,
game, folks. Blue game.
Oh yeah.
All right. Before we wrap up with the any KMS talk that we have, I do want to just throw this out there. So it's episode 9 next week.
One more, baby.
Episode 10, baby. And I thought, well, let's talk drips for a minute behind the scenes. Exactly. I'm hoping that still rings true. Hell but I was thinking we should try to do something special for episode 10. I'm thinking maybe a live. We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. I'm into that. I would do that.
Yeah, we could do if it works for everyone on the network. We have a fantastic CEO, but the buck stops with him, so we'll see. I thought live could be good. We could try to do a drips out of office type thing, like maybe a special episode. And then the other idea I floated out to you guys was, and we can still do this. So if anyone who's watching this, if you wanted to send in like a voicemail or video submission where you ask us a drip question, like something you saw in the office, you want to get our take on it, anything drip related, dad life related, anything in general that we typically talk about. Throw something out there. We'll pop you up on screen. Listen to what you have to say. React to it. Again, I'm just throwing shit against the wall, but I thought we could try to do something different for episode 10.
Anybody wants to do that, that would be great. Give us some juice. Give us something to chat about. We will not be responding to mean comments or anyone commenting on my weight. I won't respond to those.
Because no one here looks like a big toe, damn it.
I will. I kind of do. I've always had the jowls.
The jowls. You love that word, jowls.
Yeah, my mom thought I had Cushing's disease.
What is that?
She described it as you wear all your weight in your face.
Oh, that's a very nice thing for your mother to say to you.
Super rude. I went to the doctor and they did a bunch of blood work. Do not have Cushing's. Just a poor diet.
Dude, so that was going on. You had the allergy thing going on. You're running away from the soccer field. You haven't watched a Disney movie.
We haven't even got it like my sheltered life.
Dude, Karen is like, she's got her hands full.
Karen's getting her money's worth. She's hitting my insurance and asking for more. No, I had a wicked sheltered life growing up. I asked for an Xbox forever. I got a Nintendo Wii when I was 17. They thought that would answer everything. We were in bed by like 8 o'clock. I listened to the radio instead of TV at night. I listened to that fucking asshole Planet Mikey every night. Talk about a low moment.
Yeah, I remember listening when I worked at I was like a stock guy at a liquor store, and they always had that on.
Ugh, vomit. But yeah, we can go to that down the road. Very sheltered life, good parents, but total loser growing up. Not much has changed, but not much has changed.
Yeah, what do you mean total loser? That's not right at all. For example, why don't you tell us what's going on in the kitchen?
Oh yeah, that'll break the stigma.
Exactly. So we've got
what a week. Hold on. For all you assholes that are like, oh, all these forced bits. I don't like all these forced bits. Do yourself a favor, grab a chair, bend over, lube something up, and fuck yourself. Because this is great. I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks. I am living. John, I apologize. Go ahead.
No, I'm glad you said that. And actually, the Cinema Lords had a tweet the other day that a very kind of simple tweet, but it kind of is a microcosm of what you just said. I can't remember if it was the Coleman rap or something about Stevie Bits, but he was just like, could you imagine not being a Minifan with all this going on? And I was just like, I would never want to miss any of this stuff. It's unbelievable. And Big Cat really kind of reminded us all too, didn't he? Like, of why it's all crazy. Like when he was laying out everything, talking about Steve's lawyer, who might also be a doctor. Like I was listening to that going like, he's right. Like sometimes you forget, like this world is fucking insane.
My neighbor started listening to the show like probably 3 or 4 months ago. And like, he's texted me like, he doesn't have Twitter. So I send him all this stuff. And he's like, how could Steve from Gloucester, like, what the fuck? Has he done this before? Like, is he messing with her? I'm like, you are now insane. You're clinically insane. Like, we're all a little nuts. But imagine if Kirk is listening to this, great. If it all went away tomorrow, our lives would be so drastically worse. Like,
it would just be something. There would be a hole.
I don't know what I'd do. Like, I'd have to go, what did I listen to before?
I'm like a typical Rogan,
I'd probably
bro.
get into like anus or something. That's not me. Like, it's the greatest universe in the entire world. And like, you try to explain it to people who don't listen to it, and they're like, okay, so why does he have a show? I'm like, you just don't get it. Like, you're wasting time.
It's funny too if you're so used to saying the network, but if you just say that to someone, like, yeah, the show's on the network. Like, the fuck are you talking about, the network? You're like, well, hold on, because there's 2 networks. So let me really break it down for you.
They're like, no, it does not help.
Let me throw a couple things at you and then have you react to it. So where do I want to start? Actually, we'll start Steve on leeches. So what, you can talk about the Steve like leaving, but not really leaving, and then him going on leeches. Like, what is your take on that?
I've always been a Steve guy. I'll always be a Steve guy. He sent me a very classy DM saying almost goodbye, but not goodbye. Just thanks for being a pal. I like Steve. There would have been nothing better than on Thursday if he walked in there with some fake ass attorney that he found on the side of the street or something and just played along. And then there's a lot of people that don't like Steve. Like, he sees all that shit. If he had went in there on Thursday and played along and like just bit the bullet. I understand he's got stuff going on in his personal life, so I get that.
Yep.
All those people that hate him would turn. Like that would be awesome. But he just can't do it. And that all ties back to the leeches. I wish he consulted with me beforehand. It's a bad look going on that podcast and then not going on to the show that podcast is talking about.
Yeah, that part kind of didn't make any sense to me. He's like, I really shouldn't be talking about this stuff, so I'm going to come on this show and talk about this stuff, but then not really. And I don't know, like obviously having the lawyer come in would be like an absolute fucking wet dream for me. But even if like, let's say you couldn't get a lawyer to play along, or even a fake lawyer to play along, even just going in and sitting next to Cinnamon Lords and having you guys kind of have it out. Come on, give us something.
He says, I kid you not, when he has not told me what Cinnamon Lord's done. I've asked, like, what the fuck's going on?
That's the confusion for me. I don't know. I feel like I'm missing something.
Whatever. Maybe there is something. But, like, from an outsider's view, Cinnamon Lord seems like he seems like a decent guy. Like,
yeah,
if he's not, there's legitimately something that he's done to you to harm you. Like, fucking air him out. Like, if he's doing something like that, then it deserves to be out in the public. But, like, if it's just, like, I could have swore he was a burner or, like, whatever people are saying, like, that's crazy.
Yeah, because even that's crazy. Nothing. Think about all the part of the bit of the whole world is burners. So like, it's not that like crazy.
No, it's the entire like it's almost like a huge fabric of the show. Like if you go on the show even once, if you're involved, if you interact with Kirk or anyone from the show, like there is never anyone in this world that's going to have 100% like, yeah, that guy's the man. I love that guy.
Yep.
Like people are going to just rip on you for stuff that probably isn't even real, but they just want to stir up shit. Like, just fuck it. Steve's frustrating. I hope he finds his way back somehow, but it almost seems like it's one of those situations where, like, he doesn't do well with all this shit, so maybe it's best that he doesn't.
Yeah, like when all eyes are on him. I like Steve, too. I definitely do. I think he's funny on the show. I think when he's talking or when they're playing drops and you see Coleman laughing, that kind of makes me laugh, too. Yeah, I just think his decision-making and a lot of this stuff has just been... It's been off. Like the Fuss Daddy thing, just come clean. Like I've said this on a couple of the shows, but no one really cares. Like especially now, so far removed, it's really not that big of a deal.
Just lean into it. I don't know.
Yeah.
God bless you, Steve. Rest in peace. Not that you're dead, but metaphorically.
What do you think about Beyond Average? You know, is that a bit? Is it real? If it's real, like how I'm sad.
I don't think it's a bit. I think that he's probably. I can't speculate on it. I haven't talked to him about it, but it's like Mick. If this was a Mick bit, it would be probably over within a day.
Well, I don't think it's a bit at all. But the only reason you could get me to like see that point of view is the timing of it, because the Steve stepping away thing and then the KMS rundown going away. I could see Mick. The bit or the joke is, oh, Beyond Average is gone. Like it's been fun, guys. But I agree. I don't personally think it is.
He's going through a lot of shit in his life, obviously. And the hard part for Mick right now, I would assume, is like he lives in a small town in the Cape, right? Like I change my windshield wipers every 3 months. The amount of wet panties that must be splattering on that guy's windshield, he's got to be slishing those things every week or so. It's a lot to keep up with, but. All jokes aside, I hope Mick's okay. I've said it 100 times. Mick's the best. There's no one better than Mick. It's a weird sentence.
I had never been more into Beyond Average and like the whole Mick saga. Like I was at my absolute peak too. So it's killer that he's gone. It really is hurting me.
I think he'll come back once he gets whatever he's dealing with figured out. I think he'll be back. Like he's not doing 100 back and forth. Like I'm gone. I'm never responding to it. That was another Steve thing that drove me crazy. Like
that's the hardest part, because like if you're gonna lie, then lean into the lie and that's fine. But this whole thing, I'm not gonna laugh this time. I'm not gonna do it. The whole thing, I'm not gonna talk about KMS anymore, and I'm not even gonna tweet about it. You're still on mute. I'm not going to tweet about it, but I'm going to tweet about it, and then I'm going to comment, and then I'm going to go on the leeches. So it's like, well, dude, just fucking pick one.
Yeah, no. But like, going back to my original point, I don't think Mick's like he hasn't done that. So I think when he was like, "Hey, I'm good," like Hell yeah, it's on again. 8 o'clock's with Christian. I think Christian should just start doing some solos. Or just
Christian's growing on me. I like Christian.
I like Christian.
KMS Rundown. They put out an official statement, very, very well written. Those are professional guys, especially the blue collar guys on that program. I'm sure he wrote that and edited it himself.
That's true.
That's tough. That's tough too. I mean, I always say that's a Saturday morning staple. I think they do a really good job of breaking down the week. And I was thinking about it the other day, like you have Mike and the Minifans that comes out Friday, and then KMS Rundown Saturday. They're both basically talking about the same topics, but they're such different shows. Like they somehow come at it from two different angles. So that is definitely going to be missed. It makes you wonder, is chaos a ladder? Will someone use this as an opportunity to take a Saturday morning slot? So we'll have to see what goes on there.
Interesting. One thing I will say, I've wanted to say this for a while. My man Court Minahan doesn't get the respect he deserves. He puts together all those graphics, does a great job.
Yes, absolutely.
As you have a little time off. And secondly, I want to point out, so there's a lot of people like, oh, they're God, they're doing this again. When's the last time you went to the grocery store, John?
Wow, long time.
Okay. Produce. What do they call vegetables? Is that produce?
That's produce, yeah.
Okay, so vegetables, meat. Where the fuck do you people think that comes from? That comes from the backbone of America, and that is farmers. So if Sheldon has to take a little bit of time off to go harvest cattle and fucking chuck lettuce, I think we should respect that. And we should let them have their time. Now, I would really like for them to come back in some iteration, maybe a pop-up on Saturday every once in a while. But listen, respect the fellas. Been nothing but great to us. So hats off to them.
Yeah, good guys
too. Honestly,
just in general, keeping us fed out there. It's the for me the timing of it all really sucks. It's like it's so much fodder for Menners too. But
I will say one thing: he was very well spoken on that show that he did the other night.
Oh, that was tough. He was talking about how he can zoom in, and then the internet was cutting out left and right. That was a really tough one. I will say it was funny how confident he was saying. He's like, well, here's what we're gonna do. We'll kick Coleman out. I'll sublet his apartment.
Yeah. Listen, I think we make fun. I make fun. I like poke fun at him way too much. We all like, and a lot of people do. We have to understand that he's still mourning. Like he went through some serious shit a few weeks ago.
Well, because he knew someone who was next to someone who had a dog whose owner.
I think the dog next to someone owner, and then Menners was like, "I'm not going to drive you. Make sure you take the bus home." And that's always something good to do as a parent to a whatever. So home run by him. I hope he finds Jesus. Honestly, I really do, because there's a lot of hate in that man's heart, and God bless him. But no, the network is still cranking, and that's the speculation that everyone talks about. Oh, all-time low, people are fleeing, open borders, timeout talks with Josh and Dave,
the fellas,
number
one NBA podcast in the world.
Ooh, I'm expecting a massive Mike and the Minifans on Friday.
Oh, I think, yeah, I'm hearing it's going to be a big one. We're expecting big things.
It's the heart of the NBA playoffs. What the fuck else are you going to get your coverage other than Greg Poller? So, all kidding